This is absolutely heartbreaking. Listen to this child talking about active shooter drills. Leave your comments, ding the bell, and please subscribe to our channel. This has been just basically haunting me for a while now. I'm an old guy, and I remember duck and cover, right? I mean, literally, 1957, second grade, elementary school. The bell goes off. We dive under our desks, put our fingers over our eyes, our thumbs over our ears, so that we'll survive the nuclear blast.
Today,
but none of us took it all that seriously. It was a game. It was just, the bell would go off, and it was like, oh, yeah, okay, this is it. We got to do this. And, the duck and cover thing where they had this little turtle who sang this song, duck and cover, duck and, and I don't think, there were probably a few people who were traumatized by it. We were all a little freaked out about it because, we were concerned about what might happen. And I think that amplified the Cold War, but I don't think that there were like lasting traumatic wounds. Now we've got in the school shooting stuff and I'm becoming of the opinion that the school shooter, active shooter training is actually doing more damage to our kids than the school shooters are. And, which is a pretty radical thing to say, but the school shooters are killing, a few hundred kids. I think we're traumatizing millions in ways that they will never recover from. And the thing that, I've heard this in calls from callers, you read it, you get on social media, but check out this video. This has been circulating around the internet for a week or two. It starts out in an office. It's just and by the way, this was put out by the Newtown, or the Parkland kids, I believe. It starts out with a group of 10 or 12 adults, people in their 30s and 40s, maybe in their 20s, but, adults at work. And they're in their workplace, in an office, and the supervisor comes in and says, we're going to do some active shooter training here. We're going to learn, as a business, what do we do if an active shooter's in the building? And we've brought in a real expert on this, and she's going to make a presentation. And they're all, okay, cool. And the door opens, and this little 10 or 11-year-old girl walks in. And the adults all just gasp. Oh, my God, our expert on active shooters is an 11-year-old? And then what she says starts, and if you're listening on the radio, you won't be able to see this, but it literally is bringing these adults to tears. That this little, 10, 11-year-old girl knows this stuff and knows it so well. It's a 2-minute clip. I'm going to just play it for you right here. Here it is.
Today, we're going to be learning what to do in the event of an active shooter. We're going to bring in a special guest. She's actually an expert on this, and she's going to be leading our team building event. Oh. This is Kaylee.
If there was an active shooter, you'd all be dead. When you talk out loud, the shooter can tell where you are and where you're hiding. Sometimes we play the game who can stay quietest the longest, so we all remember. You can try and protect your friends by pushing the tables and chairs against the doors. You also have to put a piece of paper over the door window so they can't see in. And you can't cry. It gives away your position and your hiding spot. And if you're in the bathrooms, you have to stand on the toilet seat and crunch down so they can't see your feet and they can't see your head, so they don't know that you're in there.
That's crazy.
Try to listen for things that could help the police. For example, if you hear a lot of bangs like bang, 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 the shooter might be down the hall. Or if you hear louder ones like bang, 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 he could be right outside your door. If the shooter comes in the room, screaming won't do anything. You have to try and fight back. If you can't escape, we get taught the emergency window escape plan, where you have to break a window, put clothes over the frame, and climb through. Our teacher used to sing a song to make it easy to remember. Lockdown, lockdown, let's all hide. Lock the doors and stay inside. Crouch on down, don't make a sound, and don't cry or you'll be found.
this is what we're teaching our kids. This, I mean, you know, I retweeted this a week or so ago when it first came out and said that those SOBs at the NRA will burn in hell if there's any justice in this world. And I continue to feel that way. The fact that our children are learning this, it brings me to the edge of tears. This is just so deeply and profoundly wrong. You have a mass shooting in New Zealand, and within 3 weeks, the Prime Minister rallies together the legislature, and they put an end to assault weapons. In fact, all semi-automatic weapons in New Zealand are now banned. This happened in Australia in 1997. They banned semi-automatic weapons that year. They haven't had a mass shooting since. They'd had a dozen of them before that. Mass shootings in schools are something that pretty much only happen in the United States, because we have more guns in this country than we have people, and we allow not just guns, not just the kind of guns that you go hunting with, which I have no problem with, the kind of guns that you would use for self-defense, you know, like a revolver or a small pistol. Again, I have no problem with those, you know, properly. You know, I think, frankly, people should have, you know, license, registration, and insurance. You know, you've heard my riff on this before. And I just wrote a book about it, by the way, that's going to be shipping in the next week or three from you know, all the normal sources. The book is titled "The Hidden History of Guns and the Second Amendment," and I lay out that as one of the solutions. But you know, this is just so wrong that we're teaching our children this. That we have to teach our children this. I mean, it's time to say, you know, what's more important? An entire generation of children? I mean, this is, you know, one of the most severe forms of child abuse imaginable, creating terror in not just the kids whose schools get shot up, but every kid in America. And now in some schools, they're actually, when they do their active shooter drills, they're actually bringing some guy in carrying a gun that's shooting blanks, running around in the halls and things to totally scare the crap out of the kids. And they think that's just a wonderful thing. That's what we've got to do. And let's arm the teachers so that the kids get to see guns every day. I mean, this is beyond the pale. We have to get this gun situation under control in the United States. We have to get it under control.